A lot of us tend to overlook the importance of being the follower or being the one in the background, being the submissive one, because, you see in society and how the leader is always the one that's showcased, and those are the qualities that everyone aspires to achieve, and things of that nature. And it's not a bad thing, you know, and we want to emulate someone else's idea of what leadership is for a lane that does not belong to us. So we tend to want to skip the learning process and just jump to being in the forefront, jump to being a leader, jump to having a cause, jump to wanting support, and completely forgetting there's so much that needs to be worked through to get to where you need to get. There's attributes your character needs to develop. You have to develop connections. You have to learn how to lead. But also, in the same sentence, some of you aren't meant to lead. Some of us aren't meant to lead at all. We tend to imagine the help or the assistant as someone in tattered clothes, or someone being walked over and just being directed and ordered, and we don't see any value in that. Focusing less on trying to lead a life that is not designed for you, and things will go a whole lot better, and you'll learn to appreciate your position and see the greatness and the strength in your position. I know with insta culture kind of instant or insta culture tends to showcase a lot of people just kind of jumping to positions, or things just appear to just to happen so quickly. And it's neat for aesthetic, but it's dangerous to those who take that for what it's like. People take it too serious, and they tend to provide these, or give themselves or feed themselves these contrasts with their lives in comparison to the others and what it appears on the outside. And they tend to just kind of develop this internal dialogue, and it eats up at with their confidence and all that good stuff. Well, bad stuff, but um, it's not worth it. If everyone was a leader, we would have no support. So we need to understand and honor the fact that others and we are all not meant to be the ones in leadership outside of leading our own lives and leading our own causes, but not necessarily trying to showcase and be the manager of every one of those causes. Your cause should be your life. That's really it. Like, your cause, your social cause should be your life. That's what you should be leading. That's really it. I know you see it a lot. There's 50 million organizations out there. There's 50 million people talking about their causes. There's 50 million people talking about, oh, this is what I da da da, and they either just don't pick up, or they kind of just they don't really get anywhere. And that's largely due to the fact that, one, they're not making connections, two, they're not following. They want to lead, they want to do everything on their own. They want to hide and try to take information and pick information from others and try to fuel their own life without doing the work. And it's not going to work well. So for those who have a cause or a desire to be out there in society or in your local neighborhoods and things like that, you're going to have to follow. You're going to have to be submissive. You're going to have to be one willing to receive information, correction, and all that kind of stuff from those that have done the work and have invested so much more time. Don't rush this process of trying to be the one in the front, because I can almost guarantee you're running off of illusions. And it's funny because whenever I try to step out of my position as the assistant, or as like the technician, or as the follower, that term can be a little dangerous depending on the context, but I'm going to use that for now. Whenever I step out of that role, I instantly suffer confusion. When I say instantly, it's instant. Like, I start thinking, how am I supposed to? How am I supposed to? How am I supposed to? It don't work. It's not for me to do. I wouldn't necessarily aspire to be the leader of something, to be the only one at the pinnacle. I wouldn't aspire to be the pinnacle of any type of social movement. I would definitely aspire to be at the pinnacle of my own life. And by life, I mean by getting through a lot of my internal challenges, by sharpening my character and getting through all those issues, that's the pinnacle I would like to get to. Um, but also not being deluded into thinking that once you get there, there's nothing left. Like, oh, once I get to this place, I have nothing else, because then you're going to fool yourself again. So just aspire for better character, and just kind of, it would be great to have some sense of morals. I know right now in time, to even talk about morals puts you in a position of like you're virtue signaling, and you're doing all these, all these different terms people make up to avoid accountability and just to want to live chaotic and with no type of compass, whatever. However, it would be great to kind of practice having a moral code, and just work on your character. That's, if anything, like if I had a desire to write, I kind of had envisions of myself like wanting to be something, and I saw myself in so many different positions, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to be anything outside of having just better character. I'm tired of dealing with laziness at times. I'm tired of dealing with fears, and work on those things. That's where you need to focus on. It's funny because for me, I've gotten a lot of my character work done in the field of my personal hobbies. Like my hobbies and things like that turned into more of a career path for me. And of course, I have other career goals, but that turned into the ways for me to sharpen my character through my artistic medium, through sharing my artwork, and through going out there in the world and working with the general public. Through that is how I've learned and sharpened my character. And of course, through the guidance of really great men out there, namely Anu, Chief Yuya, but yeah, it's been that process for me. It just hasn't been me just kind of just aimlessly carrying on, and I just so happened to learn this. No, I committed myself towards something that I love to do. And then I was able to see, okay, well, these are the hindrances and things that are blocking me from getting to where I would like to be. And then more time went on, more obstacles, more opportunities came to remove those blockages and things. And it just kept on going. So that could be how it works for you. I would recommend, you figuring yourself out and things like that. But wanting to be the one in the forefront, wanting all these desires for fame and glory and fortune, and wanting to do it alone without having guidance and without having someone to learn from, and without you being teachable, it's you're about to crash and burn, babe.